I think Deadlock is already available, mate. If you want to play it, you can play it. It is open to everyone. Yeah, you don't need an invite. You don't need connections in the gaming world. You don't need anything. Well, maybe you need to speak some Eastern European languages. That helps. But no, I don't think it's invite only. I think you can just sign up. It's mega easy at least to get into. Or maybe you still need one friend, but it's really easy. Anyway, doesn't matter. TLDR is, I don't think you guys will see me play any team fight tactics. You guys will, however, see me play some BASILISK F1 even later tonight. And of course, Starcraft 2. Unfortunately, I'm not very good anymore in Starcraft 2. These two guys, however, I've heard they're pretty good. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
For the first time in a couple of months, we have the absolute pleasure to watch these two animals go at it once more. In the bottom left side, as a main event player of the special anniversary BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 100. That is 100 Fridays, where BASILISK gave out $500 to the Starcraft 2 community. That's pretty freaking amazing. And I think that's why this man was absolutely down to play. Representing that team, BASILISK, it is Serral. Your reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world. It's been a little while since we've been able to say that. And in the top right side, we are looking at the main base of the Frenchman who did already win an offline event in Poland right after the Esports World Cup. But after that also took a bit of a break. When I asked him to play this best of 5, he said, haha, well, of course, Roddy, I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't played that much, but sure, I'd love to go. And we appreciate him for it. Thanks to Serral and thanks to this man for accepting the invite and putting on a show for us tonight. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. What are my predictions, Roddy? Well, it better be a 3-2, no? I was so excited for today, guys. I woke up early and all I wanted was a couple of series that would go to distance, and somehow it's 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. So I'll go with a 3-2 for Serral. I had a tiny interview with Serral this afternoon, and you guys will see some things of that interview in the near future. Basically, he didn't make it seem like he took a big break. He said he's always hungry, guys. After all these years, the hunger and fire and desire is still there. Now, of course, Clem has also been active. We've seen him already have a very deep run in the Wardy TV Summer Championships, where his Protoss also look very good. I don't think we're going to see any Protoss of Clem tonight, though. This should just be TVZ all the way. There is a chance we'll see some Hellions and Cyclones. But hopefully there's a lot of bio as well. I'm just excited. I just hope that we get a good series, right? Isn't that the only thing that matters, guys, on a special Friday evening? And where we're all still here, 15 years after this game was released, still enjoying some StarCraft 2. Be nice if it doesn't have to be about balance 24/7, and we can just enjoy these guys and have a good time with each other. It's not a crime. I think we can do it. Serral did manage to get his hatch down at least over here at the bottom, because there was an SCV there, but I guess it was just barely not in time. Reaper does not get the drone. Well, you guys had a talk with him. Is there going to be a full video? Well, what I did today with Serral is not a full video. That was just more a couple of one-liners, but you know, just to touch base. There's always a chance that in the future we'll do some longer interviews if there is a good reason for it, right? Like if we have something that we really want to discuss together. Either we do it with the entire team or I do it with Serral alone. But right now that's not something on the agenda. And on top of that, I'm flying out tomorrow night to Korea for 2 weeks, and obviously I won't bring my microphone and my camera and all of that. I'll be doing my thing for a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe when we get closer to the French event, if our boys make it, if they're all traveling, multiple BASILISK members in the top 4, maybe we can have a proper interview. Reaper throws down a grenade, bounces the queens out of position. It's a very standard opening so far coming out of Clem. It's just Hellions and Banshees. Serral's queen movement has been very sexy, as usual. Got a third orbital finishing up in the main. About as standard of a ZVT opening as you're going to get. Only a single Zergling going down so far on the side of Serral. This game is alive. Basically everything on this channel is pretty much always live. If it is not live, then I will specifically state over and over and over again that it's not live. The Reynor against Classic series we just casted was not live, and I have tried to communicate that in every way, shape or form possible. But almost every other Starcraft 2 series you ever see on this channel is live. I don't really cast the replays. The only time I would cast replays if it's a game that has literally never been shown to anyone. I will never cast casual old games that everybody has already seen. We still ask you. It's okay, like I don't mind asking, as we have, a cloaked Banshee showing up right before the Spore Crawler finishes up. So a couple of drones go down. Obviously nothing too crucial, but that's nice for Clem, finding something. Serral, his Zerglings, and it's not a fight that I think Serral can take, and Serral is in agreement. Well, Clem overall looking clean here so far, guys. I knew he was lying when he said he was a little rusty. This looks like a lot of things, but it does not look like rusty Terran gameplay. Serral does surround one of the Hellions. He's gonna try to save his queen, loses the queen. Both the Banshees survive. They are low, and that means that Clem is probably gonna have to send them home and just repair them. Overseer shows up a little bit too late for those queens to really believe in the chase there. Double Evo. Clem is actually gonna give up on some of his Hellions here. Surprised he only lost one. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be -3 Hellions real quick, maybe 5. First 6 minutes, I gotta say, I think Clem looks really good here. Only lost 2 Hellions, has found a couple drones, has found a decent amount of links. Obviously getting a queen, a bit of lost mining time. It is a vintage Clem aggression where he's always right on the edge of striking distance, and it's so easy for him to get in and out of range, and you have to be so on top of your defenses. Whether you play Protoss or Zerg, but probably even more as Zerg, because it's Protoss, you often have a battery or so to fall back on. Serral fires up 12 roaches, has +1 missile attacks, Carapace on the way, so it's going to be a lot of roaches and ravages, but they ain't quite out yet. And the first tank is already here. Clem has stim. Clem is going to stim forward. Gonna start working on this hatchery. Queen count is 7. At least we have Zergling speed, we have roach speed. I think Serral should be able to keep this base alive. It's always a bit scary, because it's hard for Serral to exactly figure out what is here.
Swarm forces under
Tiny Zergling poke on the other side of the map. Honestly, not much more than a distraction. A lot of respect shown so far from both sides. No one really committing too hard to anything. Clem is upgrades. 1-1 done. Armory a little bit late. That is maybe the first real slip up that Clem has had in this game. Normally that is all perfectly aligned. Serral fires up 3 Infestors. That hive, by the way, is already halfway done. 8 minutes in. Clem throws down a scan, snipes a tumor. Seems very likely to me that Serral will drop an Ultralisk Cavern as soon as that hive is done, because this hive is so early, and then obviously once you get a couple of Ultras out with Kindness Plating, Marine, Marauder, Tank, not all that scary anymore. But what is very scary is that moment where your hive is done. Do you invest in it, Reynor Glance? The answer is yes. Do you invest in that Ultralisk Cavern immediately? Yes, but of course they won't be there. That is a really good fungal though by Serral. That is the kind of stuff that is maybe going to make it a bit more scary for Clem to continue pushing. But Clem doesn't seem very intimidated at all. And now there aren't too many fungals left. What Serral could do is knock down the cooling tower. He's just spamming corrosive balls. Clem is stimming in so deep. One more fungal from downtown. That's a really big fungal. The corrosive balls kind of connect as well. I wouldn't hate it if the cooling tower goes down. It is difficult for Serral to run into all those tanks now. Well, he gets one. Still feels very scary to me. I mean, the fungals were fantastic, but we're just kind of running out of firepower now. Couple of roaches, couple of ravages. Clem is doing a very good job in dodging the corrosive balls. Queens are falling. Spore Crawler is trying to make the difference. Serral really does not want to give up at this base, but Serral feels there is just no way to hold this army. Clem, who was relentless there and just kept stimming through that choke point, even though he ate a couple of massive fungals to the face, that did not slow him down. And after 9 minutes and 18 seconds, it is Clem on the Ultraloft. And that's, I guess, the biggest downside of like going for such a quick hive and then putting some resources into stuff that's just not going to help you defending that push. It's a bunch of minerals and gas into a Reynor lens, into the Ultralisk Cavern. Technically, the infestation pit is fine for the infestors, but the hive tech, all of that money does not help you in that fight. Yeah, it seems that Clem does not get discouraged from a big fungo or two. Just went for it. Yeah, I think there was a moment where we maybe could have clicked on that cooling tower and it would have bought some time. And maybe if we have some time, we have more time to get all those units that are spawning from 4 different hatcheries back to the front line. Maybe the infestors gather up enough energy for another fungo. Like on this level, obviously all the little things can make a difference. I do think that would have been useful, but it's alright. I think Ultra Love is always a tough map for ZVT, especially when you go up against Clem. But not just Clem. I think a couple of the Korean Terrans are incredibly difficult to play on Ultra Love as well. Maganatha should go a whole lot better for the World Champ. Could be map related tile up. I'm certain that Serral is going to switch it up. I don't think he's necessarily going to go for that opening and that playstyle throughout the entire game. Maybe he just feels that Ultra Love needs something different because it is obviously such a powerful 8-Rex map, as all the kids call it. Here we go. Round 2. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, a main event. And don't forget, there is still a giveaway for the signed BASILISK hat, signed by Serral, Reynor, and Trigger. ! Discord. Click on the BASILISK link. Find the Starcraft 2 channel. It's not hard. And all you have to do is like a post, and then you're eligible to win a hat, if you want to win a hat.
Round 2. Fight!
Well, actually I should have shown it quickly, but I said I was going to close the submissions after game 2, but maybe if it's 1-1, we can close the submissions after game 3, and then after game 2 I can just show you guys where to click it one last time. So, if Clem takes a 2-0 lead, we'll just start drawing a winner. If it's 1-1, we'll give you guys another game. Top left side of Maganatha, down 0-1. It is the Finnish Phenom himself. I really appreciate him taking some time on this Friday evening to play this best of 5 for us. That is BASILISK Serral. Always a pleasure having Yona in the BBB. And in the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. Always love having him as well. At one point, he actually said, "Roddy, you haven't invited me for a while. What's up?" I was like, "I'm sorry, mate. You're too damn good. Like, there is no one. I can only give you Serral or MaxPax, but you play MaxPax all the time, or Reynor when he's active. Other than that, I've got no one for you." And he's like, "Okay, fair enough." He's like, "I can play with Protoss, Zerg." I was like, "Fine." And then we did that. Always love having him. The world champ of 2024 is Team Liquid's Clem. Clem, or
Liquid Clam.
that works as well. Thank you, Captain Damage, for the 4 months. Appreciate that, mate. You wish Clem got to play more games in the random tournament? Yeah, me too, mate. I was like actively hoping for the first time in history that one of the 16 guys that made it could not play on the Monday night. So Clem was going to be our first replacement because he was 17th in the standings. But yeah, everybody was eager and excited to play, and then there was nothing I could have done. Reaper shows up in time. This is a good start for Clem again, as he had the SCV here as well. Serral is just going to take this space instead. Does this work, guys? No, it doesn't work. No money. Yeah, it was a shame, but we can always do another random tournament series one day, because I did have a good time with it, but I don't want to do it immediately. Let some time go by, and then we'll see what we can do. How many buckies to run another random tournament? I mean, one would not be a lot, right? We'll do the same thing. Gave out 1,400 and a bit in the 5 weeks. Now, obviously, I got that lucky break with the Intel gig. We'll see. Let time go by. First of all, we're going to be busy and we're going to be away for a little while. And hopefully, when we're back, we have a better idea of how the competitive calendar of Starcraft 2 is going to look like. If there is a lot of stuff to look forward to, and obviously, fingers crossed, there will be. And then we'll see. If there's ever room or desire to run something along those lines, I promise you that I'll do my best to make it happen. And I'll make sure that Clem plays the first one. Just in case it goes wrong again. I guess there was no way to save it. I mean, it's an investment, guys. Otamendi, Kevin De Bruyne. This is Zerg heritage right there. Investments for the future. Taking a look at the main base of Clem, we can see that things do look a little bit different than in that last game. Oh. Last game, obviously, we had a very standard 1-1-1 opening, triple CC, a couple of Hellions, couple of Cloak Banshees. This time we've got a much quicker stim on the way. What did Serral see there? As Clem is keeping him busy with the Hellions and the Reapers. Alright, I feel like we saw stuff. We see the timing on the starport, and obviously that's often all that Serral needs to see to figure out what the opening has been. As these guys are incredibly good in filling out the blanks of stuff that they cannot see. Lots of extra drones in the way. Clem with a very early armory, so this could lead into a bit of a Steam Marine push where all the Hellions morph into Hellbats. I'm actually pretty fond of these Terran builds. Like, I know there was an era in StarCraft 2 where Terrans would just make a couple of Hellions and then morph them into Hellbats and close your eyes and pray. Or that would be like one medevac in the mix, but it just kind of felt that everyone got way too good in the defensive queen control to really take crazy damage from those slow wobbling Hellbats. But if there's a bunch of Marines with stim to worry about as well, I like builds like this a lot better. Serral drops a Baneling Nest and a Spire at the same time. He's on 62 drones. Tiny bit concerned. We do have 9 queens. That is great. 10th queen on the way. Couple of lings on the other side of the map could distract Clem. The doors are open. Zerglings. Not many guys. But even just a couple of links can already be a really big distraction while the battle is happening on the other side of the map. Seems like Serral did lose a queen very quickly. Loses a second queen. But I think in the end we've got enough queens here, right? As the Hellbat count is dwindling. Ooh, that is a lot of dead queens though. I think that is a few more queens than Serral enjoyed losing. And we are not done yet. We are losing extra Zerglings as well. Clem on fire. Serral, his queens on fire. But for one person that's very good. For the other one, not so much. 10 queens have turned into 1 queen. Into 0 queens. It is, in the end, a disaster. I kind of thought at one point it wasn't looking that bad. But it is that bad. 10 queens and 41 links go down. Against the quick steam Hellbat push on the side of Clem. And unfortunately that little Zergling poke on the other side of the map just did not do enough. Nowhere near enough. Serral is going to need some Serral magic here on Maganatha to turn this around, because this is starting to look really grim. Thank you to Tater Tutor for gifting one to Jeff. This is looking very rough. We're getting value out of the gas, guys. It was an investment all along. Serral now supply block too after losing that Overlord over here. Lair attack Serral in all sorts of trouble. Wow. I was maybe thinking of Burrow as a potential comeback play, but I think it's a little bit too early. Serral probably just feels like he needs to put all of his resources into battle units right now. And now we need to pray that these speedy Banes can somehow connect with the Marines of Clem. Clem's got 31 Marines, got 3 tanks, 2 tanks on the other side of the map, 1 tank left at home. We are gonna engage right outside of scan radius, so Clem sees his army rather late, but can the Banelings really connect? Well, that's actually a good connection towards the end. BASILISK get on top of the medevac. That also means that the Zerglings can clean up the tanks. Serral with, I want to say, a really good hold so far. Unfortunately, can't quite kill all the units, and now he's gonna have to stop. Because Clem is macroing like the French god that he is behind this, and reinforcements show up in time. I mean, I feel like that was as good as it was going to be for Serral. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the Mutas on top of the medevacs in time to kill all the medevacs. Thank you guys for passing the love around. Really appreciate it. Where is that jackpot, by the way? Didn't they promise us that the jackpot would be live? Shameful. Maybe I messed up the dates. Well, there is no jackpot. Clem is gonna have his upgrades as well. Serral, of course, is very far away from upgrades. Off creep, just a couple of lings, and Mutas not going to cut it. This is where maybe having Burrow would actually be very nice, but that's also something you're gonna get a lot of value out once And then Clem is just going to scan. I'm afraid, guys, that even Serral is going to have an incredibly hard, difficult time finding ways to turn this one around. Serral is doubling, tripling down basically right now on making unupgraded units of lair tech, just hoping that Clem overextends and that he can capitalize on it and then he can fully send it and get a much better fight. Serral feels right now that if he starts investing in Evo chambers, upgrades, hive tech, that he's always just gonna die because Clem is gonna have way too much. So we are basically looking for a max out. And maybe Serral feels that as long as he is maxed out, as long as he has way more units than Clem would expect him to have, perhaps we can make some finish magic happen. I like the idea. I'm not saying that it's going to work, but I do like what we are thinking over here. Widowmine actually burrows and gets a really big shot up on the Miras. A lot of the Banelings die way before they get close. A couple of Banelings came in from the bottom, but there was so much firepower in the army of the man that's representing Team Liquid. And just like that, it's 2-0 for Clem. 5 minutes past the 9 and Clem is already up 2-0, and that looked very convincing. Serral obviously lost way too many queens and links against the Stim Hellbat timing. Thank you to we require more minerals for the 5 gifted subbies. Really appreciate it. Let's hope that Serral can find a way to turn it around. At least give us that 5-game series, guys, that we're all looking for. Since it is 2-0, I think it is already time for Jeff to maybe start finding a winner, guys. I'll give you one last minute to maybe do ! Discord. If you click on the link of the Basilisk Discord, you will see that there is a StarCraft 2 channel where I made a little post. All you have to do is click on Ronda's beautiful face. You can also summon Ronda in chat. And if you do that, you can win a hat. If you want it. If you don't want that, that's fine. You don't have to do it. You're obviously still allowed to join as well if you would like that. But you don't have to. Don't feel forced. You can also win the hat and leave, even though I wouldn't do it because there's always more stuff to win. Thank you to Ryan, my man. 129 months, guys. 129 months. Tier 3. Absolute legend. Alright. We're hopping into game 3. It is on torches.
Round 3. Fight!
Torches was the final map between these two gamers in the grand finals of that great best of 7 they had a couple months ago over in Stara Zagora, Bulgaria. It was a map where Serral spawned at the bottom, Clem spawned at the top, and they had a really close fight around a lot of marines and tanks here, and honestly, it was one of these fights where you felt Serral could have done better. And after the finals, actually one of the first things that Serral said is, I think I messed up. I think I could have done better. And that is what a lot of the gamers were feeling like. Now the spawning positions are reversed and maybe the game is going to be completely different. But even if it's a very difficult map, there might be some hope. Let's see. Top right side, he's down 0-2. He needs some love and support in the chat right now to turn this around and give us that 5-game series we want here on the Friday. Representing Basilisk, it is Serral. Was Serral in Bulgaria? Serral was absolutely in Bulgaria, and he played the grand finals against Clem. I'm not talking about a hypothetical game that didn't happen. I promise you it happened. First year Serral was not there, only Reynor was there, and Oliveira made it to the finals back then. Clem won the first and the second edition. And first year it was Oliveira second, Reynor third. This summer it was Clem winning, Serral second, Zaun third, I want to say, and ShoWTime fourth, or maybe ShoWTime third. ShoWTime beat Reynor in that very epic series. You think of Poland then? Yeah. No, I wasn't thinking about Poland. Serral was not in Poland. He was having lunch with the prince. That's what all the champs do. Bottom right side, guys. He's up 2-0. Let's see what he has in store for us here in game 3 on torches. And can you believe it? He said he was rusty. Never believe this man is lies. I'm going to go full memento on him. I'm going to print a picture of Clem. Now, Clem is very fortunate because I've never seen a bad Clem picture. I'm going to print it, and below it, I'm going to say, don't believe this man is lies. And I'm going to hang it above my bed. Rusty. Never seen this kid rusty. Kid hasn't been rusty since the summer of 2016. Reaper goes on the high ground, low ground. Serral does a good job though keeping these drones safe. Clem did spot that these drones have been mined out, and that has also allowed somehow some Zerglings to sneak to the other side of the map. Can we get something? No. We're not gonna get it. We do get the scout. No, it is maybe a scout that doesn't say tell Serral a whole lot, but it's still a scout. We have the similar 1v1 setup to game 1. I did like the build that Clem chose in game 2. I feel like that is a build you can absolutely do on some smaller maps as well. Just hits so early and so hard. Thank you to Fire Matey for the 17 months, I appreciate it. Roach Warren goes down on the side of a gasless Serral. No Zergling speed yet. So this is a bit similar to now Serral has played a lot of his ZVTs on torches. Obviously this is a map where it can be very difficult to get a lot of value out of early Zergling speed. Hard to sneak units to the other side of the map, hard to surround Hellions. Good chance that Hellions won't commit up this ramp, so I don't really hate it. This map has a unique function for the folks who don't play or watch Starcraft 2 all the time. It starts off with a bunch of Zerg rocks, as the fans call it, and they just kind of decay over time. And eventually they will open different attack paths, but early off this is all closed off, unless you mine out the minerals obviously. But these rocks will slowly disappear, so you don't actually have to kill them with your units. They will do it themselves. Cloak Bench is on the way, but basically no Hellion production at all on the side of Clem. And when I say basically, I mean no Hellion production. Interesting. Maybe Clem just feels that against this castle's opening with units on top of this ramp, maybe a Roach Warren part of the wall off, and as long as these rocks are out, it's very difficult to get a lot of value from your Hellions. Still the Cloak Banshees though. Just imagine until rocks get introduced to Mechabellum, mate. We know that Dustin Browder is a big Mechabellum fan. So I give it another patch or two. We already have turrets and walls. I think the buildings are coming as well. Or the rocks rather. And those rocks will never decay. Clem activates cloak, gets a couple shots off, guns down a drone. Serral has an overseer scout in the main base, spots this setup of Clem, knows about the 2 E-base as well in the back. I'm a little bit worried though. Like, I shouldn't be questioning Serral's build order choice. Like, if Serral feels that playing roaches with double Evo is the way to go here, then who are we? Who is anybody to question Yona? I was just so worried. Roaches can look so good against Terran, but it can also be so freaking underwhelming. We saw a little bit of that on Ultra Love. They were even backed up by a couple of fantastic fungals. Now maybe this game is off to a slightly better start than Ultra Love was. Absolutely no offense taken, Triken. It's allowed, guys. We are allowed to like different things in life. Completely fine. A lot of you guys maybe like League of Legends. Not my cup of tea. It's not a crime. Accidental Swarmos? What is that? Accidental Swarmos, guys. 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Hive on the way for Serral. I don't think Serral is really gearing anything that looks like an all-in when we are going up to Hive. We're on double Evo. We've got 70 plus workers. I don't think all-in is a term that I would ever use here. I think the game plan is similar to what we had. Careful with the Infestor. We missed the fungal there. Even Steph Curry misses sometimes. It's very rare, but even the goat can miss. Armory finishing up for Clem. Lines up perfectly this time with that armor. On Ultra Love there was a little bit of a gap there. That's maybe the only real mistake that I've seen from Clem's side so far. Yes, he has taken the base here at the bottom. Sometimes you see Terran players take this. Terrans have often taken this one as well in the past. And then they like to expand towards the gold. Clem's probably giggling about the one Swarmos. Honestly, that one Swarmos is getting stuff done. We just killed 2 Marines, a little lost mining time. And whatever arena they have in Helsinki goes wild. As the crowd screams MVP. Not a single Zerg unit so far has been more successful than the accidental Swarmos. One set of locusts at a time to greatness, baby. The 2 Banshees of Clem managed to get a couple shots off, but Serral is on top of his queen movement this time. He's leaving a few links behind, leaving a single Zergling behind.
Under attack.
Clem is gonna have to take care of it before he can land his command center. Adrenal glands halfway done. Kindness plating immediately being researched. Serral is maxed out. That is not something that he was. As the accidental Swarmos, by the way, continues to do his thing. It forced out a missile turret. Good. A couple of the links did get picked up there by the Marines. This Swarmos, guys, is making waves. We've got 3 infestors. Can we land a good fungo here with bio on creep? Serral, I think it's okay. Soon we're taking a bit of a fight. But with ultras on the way, obviously we don't want to take an all-out fight. We're okay with trading, letting the Ravages get a couple shots off, maybe land a fantastic fungo. But we don't want to stand and brawl. Because then there is a chance that we just lose 80 supply real quick. And by the time the ultras show up, the ultras can't make a difference. Serral with good ling activity this time on the left side of torches. Is going to be able to pick up a command center. Is looking for another one that is back-to-back cancels. At least 200 minutes. Do it again! Get the hat trick! No? Okay. There's a Swarmos, guys. Yes! Oh, we're getting the turret as well. There's a big fight happening, but I know you guys are way more invested in the story of the Swarmos. Alright, that's a good fungo. You should probably take a little look at the fungo as ultras are here with kindness plating. Lots of medevacs, but no amount of medevacs is going to out-heal that many fungos, especially not if ultras are swiping away as well. Tank goes down. The locusts are still going crazy. I don't think that fungo ever connects like that unless the locusts are doing that thing. Now Zerglings running into the natural as well. The Zuga Liang accidental Swarmos is turning this entire game around. Would any of this has happened without that locust? I don't know. Tank is gonna get picked off. 2 of the Widow Mines get picked off as well. Tiny connection. Serral, do we have more fungos? Yes, we do. How many ultras do we have? Just 1 at this point. Few links sticking between the depots here would be amazing, or just a couple of corrosive valves. That's not bad either. The Finnish Phenom is fighting back. As I am choking. I just want some back and forth Starcraft, guys. I cannot believe after all these epic Fridays that we've had over the last 2 years. Big brain bouts after big brain bouts where we were here until midnight, sometimes past midnight. Everything was always going to distance. Not today that we get 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. That would just be very sad. And this is a difficult map for Serral, but Serral is looking really good as he fires up 5 Dropper Lords as well. And don't forget, we've taken out the turret. Are we? Yes, we're still going. And it's burrowing, I love it. What can we snipe? A reactor? If he gets a reactor, oh my god. My guy, SCVs are being pulled straight into the meat grinder. The best Swarmos that I have seen. Oh, 5 kills, 6 kills, Yoda's the GOAT. 11 kills, Swarmos, baby. I love it. Oh, we're going hard. We are going hard. 12 minutes in as Serral is now going to accomplish that Swarmos with 5 Dropaloids. Couple of Banelings did get popped. Little skirmish. It's going to be very difficult for Serral to go through that gap near the gold minerals. But who cares about going through that gap? We've got Ultras. We've got Roaches. There are some Liberators on the field. Actually, just a single one. That needs to start lifting his orbital, by the way. Serral's also sending it here in the center. Single Widow Mine is, or single Zergling is going to take a Widow Mine shot to the face. We land a few fungos. Off a couple links on these SCVs. That would be fantastic. The Ultras are tanky. Marauder count is really high, though. This was great defense by Clem. Holy smokes. This was very, very, very good defense by Clem, who also kept his main base safe. Even kept his eBay save, +3 finished up. That went really good. Alright. But it's okay. The locusts are here. The depots are burning. Every single time I start getting worried about Serral's position, I see our Swarmo is doing his thing. Can we supply block Clem? Double depot, is it good enough? Bird. No supply block. Oh. Hatchery is gonna get picked off. Serral has not been able to mine anything from this hatchery. Obviously that last hold was fantastic by Clem. I kind of wish, guys, that Serral just had a few Zerglings that he could split off, get them on top of the SCVs, because those SCVs have been exposed. Now it is Clem who's starting to look a lot more powerful. Only a single ghost though. What's the ultralist count? Not crazy high. A lot of the units are kind of choked up. I don't know about this fight. Upper ramp, off trip. It looks a little grim, but the ultras can be powerful. There is a liberator in the mix doing his thing. Can we land fungals? Oh yes, we can land fungals. Those are big fungals, but there are no more ultras left, so the marauders are just not dying. Clem's army refuses to die, and he takes another amazing fight. That is back-to-back fantastic trades on the side of Liquid Plum, who will now continue to attack and go through this choke point. Serral is not that rich anymore. Earlier the units lost resource tab was very even. Now Serral has lost 6k more. Having a very high link count is obviously something we absolutely love to see against lots of marauders. Oh, Baylings! That was scary. I understand Clem, like Serral feels that fighting and trading is good, but obviously we need to have some money in the bank to afford a remake. But Clem already has these bases anyway. We have a burrowed Zergling that's going to delay Clem from taking this base at least for a little bit. Foremost is still going to continue doing their thing. Clem is building a lot of sense. What is this, Clem? I know we're getting ready for the NFL season, but what is this? I feel like if the locusts make it through the pillars, touchdown Serral. Automatic game 4. Throw my yellow flag on the field. As Clem was able to successfully deny a hatchery there in the top left. Scan has gone down as well. Single Marine has taken out the burrowed Zergling. My Clem's army is not invincible. It should be possible for Serral to take a much better fight than he has been able to take in a little while. And just Zerglings are a real problem for all these marauders. Clem still has a lot of units on the top left side. Serral also is thinking about a lot of units into the main base. Does not quite go for it. Was this a cancel or a kill? By the looks of it, it was a kill. What this time Serral is gonna get on top of that triangle. Lots of SCVs are exposed. The sensor towers get taken out. I mean, there's just so much chaos right now. There are units in both players. Natural, third base, fourth base. Not a lot of anti-air, not a lot of mobile anti-air on the side of Serral. It makes it really hard to do something about all these medevacs that are just bouncing all over the shop. A single parasitic bomb is something that I would absolutely love to see. The Ultralist Cavern gets picked off. We do have a Spire. It's not a great Spire yet. We have a Spire. Spore Crawler, guys. Clem sees it. Oh, Infestor. Infestor looking for a fungal, maybe? Clem has split off a couple of the medevacs. He still has units inside of it and shows up for more in the main. Guns down the Hydralist then as well. What have we got over here? That's a lot of supply, but we're not really doing anything with it. Hero Spore gets at least one medevac. Does not quite get a second one. No cancel on the hatch. That is now 5 hatcheries that have gone down. At this point, Serral losing 8,000 resources more than Clem. It does seem that Serral managed to pick off one of those medevacs at least, and that's why we saw Clem lose some extra resources. Income graph has been so heavily Serral favored. And this is obviously, guys, where that ghost change that we had a long time ago. Like, I have really not been a fan of all the balance changes we've had over the last few years, but I did really like the ghost change. Because it's not necessarily like, oh, late game, ghost, liberator, game is over. Clem really has to think on how he wants to use all of his supply. As Serral drops a bunch of Zerglings, Clem is going to lift his orbital, but it's a little bit late. He is making some progress in the center right side, picks everything up. Has to be so... That's so many Widow Mines. 13 Widow Mines scattered around that area. As the Fusion Core gets picked off, Serral gets on top of a planetary with Link Bane Ultra, gets the planetary as well. I don't think we can really run into this. This is a good game. Very, very fun and cool game 3 between Serral and Clem. But the first two were a little short. A little too one-sided in the end. This is Starcraft the way we love to see it on the Friday night. We're up to count 7. Swarm host is still alive. I know you guys want to see the kills, and I love the Swarm host story too, but this fight is a little bit more exciting. 4 Widowmine's per row. Parasitic bomb lands. Fungal. Good. Very good. Second Fungal as well. Lots of medevacs go down. Both players plummeting in supply. In the end, I like it for Serral, because he has still a few more workers left. Should be able to have a slightly easier time replacing a lot of the units that he lost here. I want to say, did we save any of the spellcasters? We didn't. Still have a couple of burrowed Zerglings. Swarm host has 15 kills as we speak. Oh no, I forgot about that. And the medevacs get healed as well. No! What have we done? Map makers, what have we done? Unbelievable scene. Serral unburrows a couple of the Zerglings. As he is trying. Oh, I forgot about that. He lost the Ultralisk Cavern. He hasn't rebuilt it yet. Oh, that's scary. That is scary. As a Liberator is going to siege up in the top left side. Is going to make some justice. Rain from above. Widowmine burrows as well. No! Widowmine gets a good shot too. Uh-oh. And all of a sudden, this is starting to look a little bit grim. Serral builds 11 more drones, while Clem is actually in his face at his doorstep with a monstrous army. 137 army supply of the Terran. 10 Widowmines in the mix still. Honestly, we're not going to mine up this base anytime soon. 20 Marauders, 40 Marines, still just a single Ghost. Second Ghost now on the way. Serral losing some drones. Just long distance mining drones here. Marauders doing that thing. Oh, Serral's like, I want to use the healing shrine too, but all the Zerglings are 4 HP. Not quite a fight that we can take. Ultralisk Cavern has successfully been rebuilt though, so we now have Ultras and we have a few more Ultras on the way. We're gonna get on top of a couple of the Widowmines. Widowmine count still in double digits. Not sure about this evacuation for Clem. Leaves a few units behind. Serral does have this base at 11 o'clock, has the top left. Well, it's more 10, right? Corruptor's doing their thing. Swarmo's still trying to put in some hours. Unfortunately, the teller has stopped at 15 kills. Scan goes down. There's a lot of awkward choke points on this map to fight. Fighting, by the way, near this healing shrine is so scary. We have seen a couple of insane Terran fights already. Not talking about this game, but in the past. Saw TVP where a Terran army just stood there and gunned down 44 Zealots without a single Marine or Marauder dying. Lots of scans going down as Clem knows about the potential of those Shark King infestors. The ghost count is now at 3. That's the highest it's been all game. And Serral once more loads up those 5 Dropper Lords, and they are accompanied by, once again, a few Locusts. We have a couple of Lings trying to get on top of the third. That doesn't quite work out. Ling's going to do that thing. They have plus 3 melee at this point. Plus 3 armor as well. Upgrades are sexy. Serral's gonna burrow a couple of Zerglings in the back of the main, keeping Clem distracted. Runs a few Lings on top of the triangle base as well. This is such a fun high-level game between these two. Serral and Clem are really pushing each other here in a 22-minute game on torches. Starting to like it a bit again for Serral. I was honestly kind of worried when Clem's army looked so big, and honestly looked pretty well. Nice split up there on the Ultra, even though the Ultra is so big that the Banelings do kind of get blown up. Clem still has a terrifying army. Nothing to scoff at, but I think Serral's doing a really good job in never really turning this into a still game, where it's just like, alright, you build up, I build up, we both get a big bank, and then slowly you have no SCVs, but you have 200 supply of Ghost, Lip, Bio, and there is nothing that a few Ultras and Banelings are going to do. By continuing to deal real damage to these production facilities, stuff that Clem absolutely needs, whether it's depots, orbitals. We are keeping this a very open game. Good there with the hold position, splitting up a single Zergling. Corruptor's getting on top of the orbital. Current orbital count is 4. I think what Serral ideally builds is just the right mix of units depending on how the next fight goes. If a lot of Marauders survive, we build Lynx. If a lot of Marines survive, we build Ultras. It kind of depends, and above all, it comes down to execution. We need good fungals. We ideally need a fantastic parasitic bomb. And we need to make sure that we don't overcommit into massive Terran concaves. Getting this base could become a real problem though. This is going to make it a bit more doable for Serral to find better engagements and potentially better trades. But it's also very scary because I do kind of think that we are on the clock. Nice fungal from behind. It's not the biggest fungal, but it's good enough. Parasitic bomb lands in the middle of the Medevacs as well. At least I thought it did. Maybe it's just a lot of banelings that are exploding and connecting. Didn't seem like we had a para bomb. Those were just corrupted shots. My eyes are apparently full of the hard ones. Very few things in life spark more joy than big parasitic bombs in the middle of 10 Medevacs. Clem loads up 4 Medevacs immediately. Maybe a little drive-through at the healing shrine. Serral does not want to lose his base, unfortunately. I'm afraid he's got no saying in the matter. By the time he shows up, that hatchery is already dead. Is it like the 7th hatch that has gone down? 8 hatcheries have been picked off by Clem in this game. As Serral just continues to drop a lot of links. He's also going to try to do something about this goal, but this one Ultra is blocking the path for the rest of the Zerg units to go through. Now, at least the good news for Serral is that these links are absolutely having a field day in his main base. Might even kill the Ghost Academy here. That's kind of expensive. Seems like Clem has given up on it as he's already rebuilding one. Oh, our Locust moved. I love it. Locust has moved. We're still getting value out of it. One infestor, guys. Bird on the left side of this army. Scan goes down. Can we still let the fungal? Yes, we can. And it's a good fungal that should allow a couple of the Lings and Banes and Ultras to get on top. Widowmine's Burrow. Only one of them can fire. Looks like a really good fight. That was a mega close call. Came down to 0.2 seconds. But Serral is able to land that fungal. That makes this go a whole lot better than it would have gone without the fungal. Obviously, Clem wouldn't be Clem if he's not still battling. Shame for Serral, he didn't have a follow-up as Corruptors are going to try to use Caustic Spray. No, too much NTI here to go for it. We are not done video gaming yet on the Friday night, guys. 26-minute banger between Serral and Clem, our two most recent world champions in Starcraft 2. And this is definitely the best game of the series so far. Says a lot about this game, also says a little bit about game 1 and game 2. But if every game ever is epic, no game is epic, right? This game is definitely being good. Another nice fungal on the side of Serral. As the EMP lands a little bit too late. Banelings dreaming of connections. We have burrowed infestors everywhere. I don't know if Serral even knew about that one. He could go for it. Banelings go for the planetary instead. Serral keeps it burrowed for now. And it's really starting to look better and better for Serral. This game was an up and down proper roller coaster. At one point it looked like Serral fans could start celebrating early. And it kind of looked like it was potentially going to be a 3-0 night across the board. Which would have made me a little bit sad. That is not how I want to see number 100 go down. Now this is turning into a great game. One Widowmine has so much potential. Gets a monstrous shot off. It does die immediately, so I can't really see how many Lings died there, but I can guarantee you that it was a high number. But the swarm is still here in all its glory, and now the Medevacs are dying. They can boost. And after 27 minutes, the Jonas Otala gets one on the board and has my back, says Roddy. Don't worry. I will not give you a night of trios. Ah, that was a great game. Absolutely fantastic game between these two. Taking a look at the clock, I was wondering if I need to take an ad break, but I don't think I do. I think we're safe. I obviously want to make sure that we are 100% safe, but Clem is taking a little look at the replay. That was a really long game, so there's also a chance that maybe our game is a second before we hop into game 4. Swarmos MVP though. Absolute MVP. Set up multiple great fights in the center of the map as well. Last call to enter for a signed Basilisk hat. Guys, Jeff was kind enough to run a little giveaway today in the Basilisk Discord. If you guys want to have a hat with Basilisk obviously on it, signed by Serral, Reynor, Trigger, and myself, You guys can join the Basilisk Discord. !Discord will link you to this beautiful Discord. There is a Starcraft channel. If you scroll up a little bit, you can find a post here that says react to this post with RotterdaM, or you can click anything, but just click, and then you can win. !Discord to join the Basilisk one. Click on the Starcraft channel. Scroll up a little bit because people have been chatting, but we like that. We appreciate the chatters. We appreciate people saying hi. You like this post, you are eligible to win a Basilisk hat signed by the gamers themselves. Serral God, that was a really good game. Alright, since Clem is not here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a very, very tiny break myself. And by the time that I come back, we are good to go with Game 4. I'll see you guys real soon. Still more to come. Score is 2-1. Hopefully 2 more games. And then may the better gamer win. Ready whenever. Ready whenever. Good luck, guys. Game 4 will be played on Tokamak. That's historically not a bad Zerg map, so we're absolutely allowed to dream. And Game 5 would be... They defeated Pylon, we played Ultra Love. Take a look at the map. We defeated Last Fantasy. Ley lines, I guess, right? Yeah, always ley lines. Always ley lines. Alright. Here we go. Round 4. Basilisk Big Brain Bouts number 100. The anniversary edition. Obviously had to feature all the Basilisk boys. It is Serral and Clem, the 2 world champs. 2024, 2022, 2018, and 2025. Clem says he has a bugged overlay. We can rehost. Just rehost. It's okay. Sometimes if you load up in a game of Starcraft 2, then you get one of these custom overlays, whether it's the Warcraft 3 one or it's the bright pink one. And if you never play with that, it can be pretty distracting. It obviously doesn't do anything to your game, but I've had this as well where I got the bright blue one and I never play with the bright blue one. And some of them are really big and they just look different and can be a bit messed up. Well, Clem says, can you set your overlays to default? If you have console skins, do I have a console skin? I don't think I do. Collection. I can take a little look. We already did, King Emperor. There are millions of channel points on the line, my friend. I run predictions for the entire series, not per map. Yeah, mine is set to default. Actually, my Protoss one is not set to default. Alright. For me, everything is set to default. People voted nearly 50-50, but the points were 43-57. Yeah, we can take a look at the... I can bring it up. Unless we are rehosting Game 4. There's a way for me to see that. Choose outcome summary. So 1.4 million points on Serral, 1.9 million points on Clem. Now the prediction was still open. I can't believe it. Mix. Betrayal. Betrayal of the highest order. Oh, I wish I didn't see it, guys. I wish I didn't open it. Oh no. My night is ruined. I cannot handle this amount of betrayal. Alright. Hopefully everything good to go. No console box. Seems like everything is fine.
Round 4. Fight.
Here we go. Tokamak is going to be our 4th battleground. Historically, not a bad Zerg map. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the Finnish Phenom himself. It is a Basilisk, a Serral. Our reigning, defending, and undisputed champion of the world. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who won it all in 2024 in an incredibly convincing way. Representing Team Liquid, the one and only Clem. Clem, de plunge.
Liquid Clem. The guy everyone is talking about.
For all the right reasons. It's been many years since that one beautiful evening where these two guys met on the ladder on a map called Nightshade. And the rest, as they say, is history. I know, bully. I know. Do we still have the clip? I don't know if I have the entire clip. I actually have a few very funny sound bits of Reynor as well that Pi sent me. I just didn't put them on my soundboard yet, but those are really good clips for any game. It doesn't really matter what you play. When Reynor played in the all-random tournament, he managed to get Protoss 9 out of 11 games. And at one point, I think there was like a 7 Protoss game streak in a row. And he was kind of losing it. It's funny. I think we can have a good time with that in the future. Obviously, big thank you to all of you guys for stopping by today. I hope you guys have had fun. Obviously, the trio is not exactly what we aim for in the Big Brain Bouts, but yeah, we can't really control those things, right? It's not scripted. It's just the way it is. At least some of those games were very good. Game 1, Eba GG Machine was good. I think Game 3 was damn good. Game 1, Trigger Bunny was very good. Reynor, classic. I mean, had its moments, but obviously Reynor was just in a lot of trouble in most of those games. I think the main event is already making up for it, and hopefully, once again, just like every other series these two guys played in 2025, this one can go to distance as well. I promise you, in Game 5, completely neutral, made a better game and win. The random tourney was the most fun I've had watching all year. I liked it too, but I wouldn't go that far. I still thought that EWC was a little more exciting, just a smidge. What makes a tournament like EWC very special for me, and it doesn't matter if it's EWC or BlizzCon or Katowice, it's just that you see how much it means to everyone. And when you know it means that much, and you know the work they've put in, and the level that they're bringing, that just makes it so much special. Than even a cool event like a Dallas or an Atlanta. Serral is losing too many drones here, guys. Serral, I don't think anticipated Clem turning back around with these 3 Reapers. Now, Tokamak is a larger map. And with the double Rex opening, I don't think this is game-ending damage, but it's definitely a little bit more than Serral ever liked to lose, to be completely fair. But yeah, I think the biggest event of the year always feels a little extra special in StarCraft 2. For the life of me, I cannot recall like a bad BWI or a bad BlizzCon or a bad Katowice or a bad EWC. Just when everybody is fired up, it's just so easy to get fired up too as a fan of the game or a commentator. It's different. A lot of events are fun. Home Circuit Cups are of course fantastic. A lot of online StarCraft I still find very fun to watch or organize, but nothing beats the biggest event of the year. Triple Reaper, double Hellion. Serral has a couple of links on the right side. Does not want to go for any sort of a surround, and I think that's the right choice because he didn't really have the follow-up numbers to even set something like that up. Can we have a best of 7? Nah. I did not want to ask them to play a best of 7 because there's also like a chance that we would have started a lot later, and don't forget that it's 1 hour later in Finland than it is in the Netherlands. And, you know, if I ask Serral to play a best of 7 at 9 and we already started a little bit later, and then he has the most epic best of 7 against Clem, I'm asking him to be playing till 1:30 a.m. I think that's a bit too much. I think we should just be happy with what we got. It's the best of 5. It's the BBB number 100. We had a really cool Game 3. Let's hope Game 4 is just as good. Hopefully a Game 5. After that, early damage that Clem was able to find with his Reapers. Not too many eventful things have really taken place. Liberator is going to siege up here. Serral is not paying attention. Does pay attention towards the end, but still loses a drone. A little bit of lost mining time. We're gonna have to put it again. Reapers and Hellions are here as well, and they're here in pretty serious numbers. And absolutely something Serral needs to keep an eye on, and he will. We've got one little Zergling on the other side of the map, trying to gather some information and report back home. Can we get the edge done? Nope. Can we get an extractor done? Yes. Oh, we just lost extra money. Clem leaving a Liberator at home. A Liberator and a tank. Clearly Clem wants to focus. on this army here and what he can get done with it. The stim is done. Serral's army right now really does not look all that impressive. We're gonna have to micro these queens to perfection. Serral is supply blocked as well. Now obviously if we start battling, it will not last, but it's very important for... Oh, Serral's really believing in the power of the queens. Loses one queen so far, loses a lot of Zerglings there. I feel like he was a tiny bit indecisive on whether or not he wanted to fight. Do we have enough energy to stand our ground and fight? The answer is yes. God bless the queen. I was very worried there for a split second. Those fights, they can really have that domino effect where if one queen falls, suddenly every single queen falls and it's all over. Now Clem ain't done yet. As Clem has picked up his units and has unloaded some of them in the main base of Serral. Serral continues to take some damage, not a lot of energy on the queens, but apparently enough to save that one as well. And this is where the first Hydras will come out, and that should make Serral's life a little bit easier when it comes to dealing with these medevacs. We're still kind of supply blocked, guys. Well, no longer supply blocked, but Serral definitely does not want to be supply blocked anymore as he fires up 7 overlords at once. Hydras have none of their upgrades. Muscular augments, the speed upgrade is the first one we're going for. Very hard to get anything done on the other side of the map as long as the Liberators is chilling over here. As long as Clem is going to get +1 here for this fight. Hellions are morphed into Helmet as well. There is a tank that's going to siege up. Hydras take a very awkward route. That is not the route to take it on. And just like that, it is all over as 5 Hydras pop on the right side of the hatchery. The queens were not there. And that will do it. GG gets called. Clem gets the 3-1 victory in the Big Brain Bouts number 100. Bit of a shame we didn't get that 5th game. Bit of a shame that 3 out of the 4 games were a little short. But kudos to Clem. Played amazing. Was sharp. And unfortunately for Serral. I mean, we had a fantastic game 3, but these Clem pushes, they just hit like a truck. And you make 1 or 2 slip-ups, or you have a slip-up even in the early game where you lose a couple of drones, and it's just so much harder to grow. It becomes so hard to survive that mid-game aggression. That means that we will settle this prediction. Choose outcome. Clem wins it. We'll obviously announce the winner of the giveaway as well in the Basilisk Discord. Clem French Terran, that is correct. Thank you once more to Clem, of course, for accepting the invite and playing on this Friday night. Big thank you to Serral as well for showing up and playing. It is like a little while after the biggest event of the year, so there's a good chance that neither of these guys necessarily mega fired up for this kind of stuff, but I thought it was very, very kind that they accepted the invite and put on a show for us. That does mean that my night will come to an end when it comes to Starcraft 2. I have some other plans for later, but maybe I can actually take like a little bit of a break. That might be a good idea, because it's going to take a little while. I'm going to figure it out. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm a little bit sad that we had the 3-0, 3-0, 3-1. But yeah, these are things that you can't control. If you go down the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts Liquipedia, you'll see that we had a lot of nights with a lot of very, very close games. And obviously something very special to know that we have done this 100 times now. I've always tried to give a lot of different video gamers a chance, of course. The number 100, you want to get a couple of the big names out there. We saw really good Starcraft. That is the big positive. It's always mega fun to see Serral and Clem do their thing. Yeah, wish I would have still been casting a few more games. But you can't control these things. I don't know when we'll be back. I've always really enjoyed doing the Big Brain Bouts, but when I started the Big Brain Bouts, it was something I felt that the scene could really use, and it was exciting to give a lot of guys a shot. I'm also always open to trying to innovate and come up with something else, a different format, maybe a league. I don't really know. What I do know is that I'll be gone anyway for 2 Fridays at this point. And of course, as soon as there are announcements to make, we will make them. But yeah, it's been another fun Friday. We can definitely say that. I think that's a really good way to spend a Friday before a long journey tomorrow. And congrats to the 4 winners today. GG Machine, Trigger, Classic, and Clem. Of course, these guys played yesterday, as we mentioned. But Classic just continues to look really good. I'm looking forward to, I feel like, a long-lasting rivalry between Classic and Clem as well. Classic is really cementing his name, not just as a good Protoss, but as an absolute goated gamer out there in the year 2025. And he is not a pushover for anybody. Thank you, Coco. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys stepping by. If you guys have any questions or remarks, feel free to send them my way. I'm here right now. You guys are here. It won't hurt. If there is nothing else, then I wish all of you guys a fantastic weekend. I hope to see you guys in the future. Did they announce a winner? Has there been a winner announced? Because we had the giveaway in the BASILISK Discord. You guys can obviously always join ! Discord. Head winner has been drawn in the Discord. Who won the hat? I want to know. Who won that signed hat? I'm in the streamer mode. Prowland. Congratulations. Congratulations, mate. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to post some beautiful selfies once you've received it. And or cherish it. Make sure that Serral and Reynor and Trigger autograph does not fade away by using it too much. Rigged. It is what it is, guys. All right, GG's. Thank you guys for stopping by for BBB number 100. And of course, the biggest of shoutouts to BASILISK, guys. I think what they have done over the last 100 weeks, like, you guys are incredibly appreciated for always showing up and always showing excitement for Starcraft. But also a massive shout out to the organization that I very proudly represent. Because giving away over $50,000 for online Starcraft, I think is a fantastic thing. And hopefully that is stuff that we can continue to do for a long time. As long as you guys are here, as long as the gamers are here, I think we have something we can work with.